Alright, hi guys, this is Josh again from VIP Airsoft. Today I'm going to be going over some more rail systems. Last time I took off an outer barrel, showed you how to change that. Today we're going to be changing some rail systems and I kind of show you the differences between them. So get right in, we'll start down here. This one right here is the Daniel Defense Omega 7 rail. This rail system is a free flow rail system in the sense that it actually just hooks on to the delta ring and it gives you that one long rail look on the gun. Cool thing about this rail system again is that it hooks onto the delta ring, so you don't actually need to pull off your old delta ring or any of that stuff. If you look right here, you've got these 4 screws. These are the ones that will hook into the delta ring, and this one right here is the ones that actually keep the rails together. So this is one of the rail systems we do sell in our store. Nice rail system. Today I'm just kind of showing you the difference. Next thing I'll jump in, this is the Magpul Mo handguard carbine. These two rail systems, this handguard and this rail system, with them, they both hook onto the delta ring. Just keep in mind with this one, you will need an actual front sight or a gas block to be able to install that one. So these two are a nice handguard of accessories or rail system, as you say. Difference is really in price is one thing. It's kind of gets people. This one's only $37. This one's about $100. So if you're just looking for something that's just going to be a handguard and you want to change it out, this is something for an inexpensive price is nice. But you want something that's going to be a little bit more, I guess you'd say, just more ergonomic, and it just has some cool features and allows you to mount things without having to purchase additional rail mounts. This is probably where you want to start at. So these two are great. We head on over here. This is one of my favorite rail systems. This is the Troy rail. I believe this one is referred to as the TRX. Absolutely love this rail system. One of my favorite rail systems because of these openings right here. It makes it very light, but it's also very strong and gives you a sleek look. One of my favorite rail systems, love it. One reason I like this rail so much is the mounting. This right here is which replicates a standard AR-15 rail mount. So if I'm not mistaken, it's just the GI standard one. Nice thing is that these are pretty inexpensive, so if you ever rip these off, you can just get a new one. Not that you usually do that, but just kind of cool thing on it. Nice thing about these two is mounting is super simple. If you look right here, there's a little post. All you do is you'll line this up on the rail and then twist. That's all you do. It's a nice feature on it. It doesn't take a lot of timing. You don't have to get it all set up the way you need it. And they also include 3 of these rail accessories. Nice thing about them is that inside of the rail system, if you look in here, it has these grooves. You slip the groove in, put this underneath it, screw it on. That's all it takes. There's 2 of these and there's a longer one, so you kind of get the options there for you. So nice thing. Our 4th rail system, and the rail system I'm actually going to demonstrate today, is the AR-15 light rail. This is a Magpul rail, and it's licensed by Daniel Defense. Pretty cool rail system as well. It has a standard mount right here. Hooks on, works great, has the 6 screws, so it's an awesome rail system. Nice and light, and it's just your standard quad rail. Again, free flow as well. So coming back up, just kind of telling you guys, rail systems in general, it's just what you like. For myself, like I said, I love the Troy rail. I've also had the light rail. It's been a great rail as well. And then the handguard by Magpul is also a very great handguard. So whatever you guys are wanting to do, just again, keep in mind that any of the rail systems, they just see if they're compatible with your gun and just see what's comfortable. I went through a bunch of rails before I found something I really liked. A Troy rail for me is my favorite, but you know what? It's just what you like. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to install the light rail today. Alright guys, so first thing you're going to want to do whenever you're installing a rail system, you got to see what the mount is. So whether it be for this one where you have this mounting system, you have to pull off your old delta ring, which what we did before we actually did anything is we did that. We just pulled off the delta ring. So you're going to need an AR wrench, which I got my trusty AR wrench right here, and an Allen key set for this rail system in particular. So what I'm going to do, first thing is I'm going to just go ahead and put this mount onto the actual gun. All you do is you slide it on, And I've beforehand I super glued this in. You always want to, if it has this fake gas block, fake gas tube, you're going to want to actually get that to secure, otherwise the rail system will just spin on these. So what you're going to do is I glued it in beforehand. You're going to stick it in where the gas tube hole is, and then what you're going to do, this is a little trick for you guys. The way these rail systems work is there are 2 sets of screws that go one way, and then there's a third one that goes a different way. So you're going to want to make sure you follow that. With this one, the dust cover gets in the way of you screwing this screw in as easy. So what I recommend beforehand, you stick this one screw in, and then you don't have to worry about it. Because trust me, I've had a heck of a time trying to get it past this little spot in the receiver, and you don't want to crack the receiver by accident by messing that up. So next thing we're going to do, is not drop the screw. Take that screw, put it back in there, and then you're going to take the barrel nut. The barrel nut is specific to this style of rail, so just get it set in there and make sure you don't cross thread it, because if you cross thread it, you're going to have a really bad time and you have to replace the receiver. So I'm going to screw it in lightly by hand. Once it gets tight, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my AR wrench, and there are grooves. If you see that screw's falling out again, there we go. Keep a hand on that. This point, and this point is where the AR wrench will set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just tighten it up. Now, if you wanted to put it in a receiver, or a receiver vise, you can. Because this is a plastic body, I don't want to, because I don't want to torque it down too tight. If for some reason your rail system comes loose at some point, maybe you do that, you just tighten it up a little bit. Alright, well that's all you have to do with the mount. It's all set in there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the rail, slide the rail on. And since this screw is giving us a heck of a time, we're going to start with this one. Slightly screw it on, just by hand. And then find an Allen key that works. I believe the one for this one is a 4mm. So let's see if I was right. Yep, 4mm metric Allen key. Tighten it up. Now, one thing that you always want to do, and I learned this when I was younger, don't ever tighten down the screws on one side too tight. Otherwise, what will happen is it'll be crooked, and on this side, you won't be able to get it to line up. So what I do is I do opposites. So take this side, get this tightened up, give it a few turns of the Allen key, get it started getting snug there. All right, so now it's down and tight on both sides. So now you can put each screw in, and then we won't have any issues with alignment. So on this rail system, this is pretty basic. It's all you have to do, and then you get them all in there. Once you get them in there, you'll tighten them all down, get them real tight. Don't over tighten them, because if you do over tighten them, then you're never going to get the rail off. So just a couple things you just want to keep in mind with this rail system in particular. But if you're looking for that kind of touch to your gun, this nice thing about these rail systems is they add flare. You can add whatever you want to it, rail covers, whatever you want. And that's a nice thing about rail systems. It makes your gun unique, and you can do so much with them. So as we continue here, getting all this done, I've almost completed this one side. There, we got 2 more screws. We got one on the top, one on the bottom, and we continue with it. And as you kind of see, with this rail system, it gives it kind of a cool look. It's got the mount there, and then the way with it being a free flow rail system, and this is what I'm talking about, this is one line. So there's no delta ring in the way, there's nothing like that. So even with this mount, it still does allow it to be that free flow rail system. So if you're looking for that free flow rail system, these are nice. And again, you're gonna spend about $100 for one of these rail systems, but it makes the gun look a lot better, and compared to whatever you were using before, if you had a heavy front end, this is actually pretty light. The light, calling it the light is actually true, it is pretty light. So that's one thing you kind of look at least when I look at rail systems, that's what I look at. Alright, having a little bit of trouble with this screw. Get it all in there. Get it there. Alright, so I've got all the screws on there now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit. Get it all set. Not too tight, but just give it a little, snug it up. Let's get this one as well. Alright, flip on this side, same thing. Tight, tight, and tight. All right, put my Allen key back, and that's pretty much all it is on these rail systems. These Daniel Defense rail systems by Madbull, they're great for that. They're just real basic, simple. The mounting's not that difficult. Compared to working with like an AR-15, you have to torque it down. You don't have to on these because it's an airsoft gun. Just keep in mind, if you are using it on a gas blowback rifle, you might want to tighten it down a little bit harder because, again, everything's moving, so you kind of want to keep that in mind. If you, whatever rail system you are, guys, are deciding to go with, just keep in mind, will it fit on your gun? Will it mount? Will it work? I know one thing with these Daniel Defense rail systems by Madbull, if you have a VFC or a GMP, kind of test it first because I know there are some issues with rail compatibility with the upper receivers. So that's really the only thing with them. Other than that, they work great. And as you saw, it took us a whole total of 5 minutes, not even, to put that rail system on. And now it's on there nice and snug. It gives it a nice look to it. It is a little sharp, so just keep that in mind. They're not too bad, but rail covers will look nice on them. Same thing. And with any rail system, whether it be the Troy, whether it be the Omega, whatever it be, whatever you like, just keep in mind what it'll fit on and how's the look you want to go. Keep in mind also that these rails do come in different lengths. We have all 7 inches length rails up here, but they are 9, and some of them go up to 13 or 14 inches. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and shoot us a message on our Facebook. Give us a call. Come on in. We'll gladly answer your questions. Other than that, guys, you guys have a good one.